episode of Kiki's Fun Animal Countdown. Today, we're gonna count down 5 facts about 5 animals. And since today is our first Halloween episode, we're gonna focus on spooky animals. Today, we're actually coming at you from the Will County Humane Society in Shorewood, Illinois. Now, these guys are amazing. They help 150 animals every day, and they've been in the area for over 40 years and are an amazing no-kill shelter. Now, one of our spooky animals is in there waiting for a forever home. So come on in and we'll figure out which animal they are. Number 5. Our number 5 spot goes to the Rodriguez fruit bat, or Pteropus rodriguensis. They live on the island of Rodriguez and the Round Islands near Mauritius. They are critically endangered, and their habitat is threatened by habitat loss and naturally occurring weather like tropical cyclones. In many zoos around the world, they are part of the SSP, or Species Survival Plan, to help these guys off the endangered species list. With more than 1,330 species, bats are the second largest group of mammals in the world, rodents being the first. Now, these herbivores only eat fruits and flowers. They weigh roughly 3/4 of a pound, but have a wingspan of 2 to 3 feet. Sadly, there are fewer than 500 left in the wild, but conservation efforts like the Durrell Wildlife Conservation and the Alliance for Zero Extinction have helped these bats' population grow, and their numbers are steadily increasing. Bats sadly have a very negative stigma by humans, but even though bats can carry zoonotic diseases such as rabies and Ebola, when left alone, they can be wonderful backyard animals. Just make sure your cats and dogs are updated on their rabies shots and are always kept on leashes. They also have a bad rep for being associated with Dracula and vampires. There are vampire bats who do feast on animal blood, but bats are not scary creatures of the night. Backyard bats are very beneficial to the ecosystem. They eat mosquitoes and other pesky bugs and are very important pollinators like bees. Now, if you want to have your own free bug removal and flower pollinating team, then you can buy a bat house, which is similar to a birdhouse, at your local chain retailer. You can even plant flowers like primrose, yucca, datura, night-blooming water lilies, and jessamine to attract your new backyard friends. I'll post the info below. Number 4. Our next spooky visitor loves to tap, tap, tap on chamber doors. 'Tis a visitor, you mutter, tapping on your chamber door. Only this, and nothing more. The raven, or Corvus corax, is a large, all-black passerine bird. They can live 10 to 15 years in the wild and 40 years in managed care. They can weigh up to 4.5 pounds and are the size of red-tailed hawks. Now, they are singular birds, but can sometimes be found in a pair, and that pair will mate for life as well. Many cultures have associated ravens with death and bad omens. Many European cultures saw this black bird with an intense stare and thought they were evil. In Germany, they're associated with Satan, and in Sweden, they were thought to be the souls of murdered victims. Here in America, some Native American tribes have described the raven as a trickster due to their uncanny intelligence. They are one of the most intelligent bird species. They have puzzle-solving skills and critical thinking skills that have rivaled primates and dolphins. They have been observed making toys, using traffic to crack open nuts, playing dead near a carcass so other scavengers will think it went bad, and ravens have been observed communicating with hand gestures like you and I do. They'll point to something with their beaks or wave an object to get someone's attention. Now, in the wild, they've been known to mimic other bird calls to lure birds away from their nests. In managed care, they've been known to mimic house noises, human voices, and even howling wolves.
Now, ravens are actually very popular characters in popular culture. We also have the famous titular character, the Raven.
Even William Shakespeare has mentioned ravens more times than any other birds in his books.
The Song of Ice and Fire, or more popularly known as Game of Thrones, have these beautiful creatures as messengers. Dark wings bring dark words. Even a three-eyed raven makes his appearance in the books and in the show. And of course, we can't forget J.R.R. Tolkien of Lord of the Rings fame. He even used a raven character as well. His name was Roak, son of Kark. He was the raven leader of Lonely Mountain. And don't forget about the Baltimore Ravens, the American football team from Baltimore.
The way to tell the difference between a crow and a raven is size, numbers, and tail shapes. Ravens are the size of red-tailed hawks, as mentioned before, and crows are smaller. Crows fly in large groups known as a murder, but ravens are smaller in numbers and generally fly in pairs, although a group of ravens is called an unkindness. The next thing to look at is the tail feathers. A crow's tail feathers are roughly the same, so when they spread, they look like a fan. Ravens, however, have a prominent middle feather, so their tails look more like wedges.
Also, not to mention that crows sound like this, and ravens sound like this.
Number 3. The number 3 spot goes to our legless friends who slither on the ground. This is a king snake, which we'll learn about today. Snakes will flick their tongues out to smell the air around them. The tongue will retract into their mouth and into a small area known as a Jacobson organ. This is how they locate their prey when hearing isn't an option. Once located, the snake will grip their prey with their backwards facing teeth and wrap their bodies around it to cut off circulation to the heart. The snake will sense when the heart has stopped and then unhinge their jaw to eat their prey whole.
Now, the fear of snakes, or ophidiophobia, is one of the most common fears in adults. But the fact is that some people are scared of them because of the way they look and even the way they move. Some are even venomous and deadly, but those are actually few and far between. 3,400 species of snakes in the world, but only 600 of them are venomous, and only 300 of the 600 are actually dangerous to humans.
Now, why do people not like snakes? Why are they afraid? Well, in the Judeo-Christian Catholic religions, the snake is used to symbolize evil. The serpent was responsible for tricking Eve into eating the forbidden fruit in the Garden of Eden. Snakes are also found in the Hindu religion as well in relation to Shiva, who was sometimes called the king of the serpents. Even Native Americans had rattlesnakes utilized in their ceremonies as well. Almost every culture and religion has ties to these amazing creatures.
Snakes are actually very beneficial in our ecosystem. Now, they'll eat pests such as mice, voles, rats, sometimes even other snakes.
Scientists are even trying to introduce native snakes to places infested with pests. Snakes actually make amazing pets at home too. They're great for beginner reptile keepers and are low maintenance. The small ones rarely get bigger than their tanks, and they only eat once to twice a week. So if you're looking for a quiet, low-maintenance, low-cost, no-smell friend, then read up on snake care and visit your local reptile specialty store today. King snakes, like I have here, are actually fairly large specimens. Some reach from 6 to 7 feet in length and even live to 15 to 20 years. Now, because they're king snakes, they will commonly eat other larger snakes, even rattlesnakes. And both king snakes and milk snakes will try to eat their cage mates, so they should be housed on their own. Number 2. Arachnophobia is the oldest and most common of the phobias in adults. Just like snakes, people are terrified of the way they move. Now, spiders have 8 legs and even 2 pedipalps, which are smaller feet near the mouth that help with eating. Some people are also scared because of the painful and sometimes venomous bite they deliver. Tarantulas are venomous, but their venom is the same potency as bee stings, and they have sharp hairs all over their body that is used in self-defense and can cause mild to severe irritation on contact. Now, the name tarantula is actually originally given because in the town of Taranto, Italy, it was believed that there was a spider there that gave a fatal bite, and the only cure was to dance erratically and crazy to the point of exhaustion. Now, that is so the poison will be sweated out of the body. Now, that dance is actually called tarantella. More people in the United States die from bee stings than they do from spider bites. So, why is everybody afraid of these guys? Well, according to psychology, they elicit a disgust response in humans. Evolutionarily speaking, it was to prevent the spread of disease and illnesses. Now, it is the body and mind's way of saying, don't eat this. Now, the same disgust reaction goes towards rats, mice, slugs, and etc. But in places like Cambodia, however, tarantulas are a delicacy. Spider silks are the toughest known biomaterials, able to absorb a massive amount of damage. Now, researchers have revealed that the Darwin's bark spider has the toughest silk ever seen. It's more than twice as tough as any other spider silk and more than 10 times stronger than Kevlar. Tarantulas would make amazing pets. House spiders will keep your house bug-free, but if you're looking for a quiet, low-maintenance pet to keep you company, a tarantula might be for you. Tarantulas aren't really cuddle bugs, and they don't really like to cuddle like puppy dogs and kittens do. So it'd be kind of like having a roommate that you feed. But they're very beautiful creatures who can come in a variety of many different colors, including cobalt blue, rose hair, and many varieties and patterns as well. Just like the snake, make sure you visit your local exotic pet store if you feel that you need a tarantula to love you. And number 1. Now that we learned about some spooky animals, we're gonna go inside the Will County Humane Society to learn about our last animal on the list, and one that you could even bring back home to be your best friend forever. Black cats are an actual breed of cat. They're called a Bombay cat, a Tonkinese, Manx, exotic shorthair, American shorthair, and many other breeds of cats can be solely black. They're very common and are usually depicted as a Halloween cat and are thought to be used by witches. Of course, the bad luck stigma is just that, a stigma, and has no real consequences. Sadly, this stigma has been the doom of many black cat and many Bombay. Now, the Bombay is actually not a natural breed of cat. They originated in the United States in 1958 by crossing a black American Shorthair to a brown Burmese. Now, they're very dependent and loyal and even earned the nickname the Velcro cat because they love to stick to their owners. Now, how to tell the Bombays from other black cats is that Bombays have black fur down to their roots. They have black paw pads and black nose leather as well. Now, they have rounded heads with no flat planes, and their ears are medium-sized. They go from broad to rounded points. Their eyes should be yellow to a copper yellow, and if they're green in any way, shape, or form, they're not a true Bombay. Many breeds of cats are black, with the most common being an American Shorthair. Now, sadly, in the past, when the Pilgrims came to the United States, they were deeply unsettled by black cats. Now, anyone caught with a black cat was deemed a witch and could be put to death. But since then, they've had better luck. Ship captains' wives would have black cats in hopes to bring their husbands home, and even pirates would consider them good luck if the black cat was walking away. They were even worshipped in ancient Egypt as well. The goddess Bastet was the goddess of home, domesticity, women's secrets, fertility, and childbirth. She was even known to protect the household from illnesses and diseases, especially those that were associated with women and children. Now, she was depicted as having the body of a beautiful woman and the head of a black cat. Now, sadly, in the United States, Bombays and other black cats don't get a lot of love here. Matter of fact, in high-kill shelters, they are most likely to be euthanized. Black cats have a 30% chance of being put down in these high-kill shelters. Well then, why the stigma? Well, unfortunately, a lot of people want cats that have prettier fur, and some just don't want to be associated with black cats, especially those who are highly superstitious and or highly religious. Some shelters even have a Black Cat Day in October, and where they will educate people on the elegance and beauty of these wonderful kitty cats. Some will even reduce the price of their adoption fee in order to get people to bring these beautiful kitty cats home. I'm glad we got to learn about some spooky animals who aren't so spooky to you anymore. Now, if you learned something, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe below. And make sure that you share this video to all your friends that also want to learn about animals as well. So thank you very much for watching, and have a great day, and stay tuned for the next episode of Kiki's Fun Animal Facts, where we go to the African savannah to learn about some zebras. The Will County Humane Society in Shorewood, Illinois is a no-kill shelter that's been servicing the area for over 40 years. Now, they have a single purpose of providing a safe haven for homeless pets and helping them find their forever home. This place helps out cats and dogs, and none of it is for profit. If you're looking for a really fun community service project, or even if you just want to donate your time to a wonderful place, they're always looking for volunteers. Even if you can't adopt a kitty cat or a puppy dog and you can't donate your time, well, they're always looking for donations on their wish list. You can always get cat food, cat treats, dog treats, kitten feeding formula, puppy feeding formula, toys, shampoos, beds, scales, all sorts of really cool kitty cat and puppy dog things. They're even looking for office supplies and maintenance supplies as well. And you can drop those off during the opening hours of the Will County Humane Society. Their information is posted in the section below, and make sure that you donate, volunteer, or even help out.
I'm going to name him Quentin Tarantula, and his #1 video is going to be Kill Pillbug, Res Spider Dogs, Fango Unchained, and don't forget Pet of Pulp Fiction. Mother, I love him. I want to bring him home. Meet your new grandson.